too expensive too. So it's like, well, I can't afford that anyway. So.
They look like the rat from Kim Possible.
Ain't he a mole rat? He's a
Yeah,
mole
that's
rat,
what
right?
they look like to me.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into it, man. Okay. All right, so our interview today, we are so happy to have a special guest today. We have Dani Darling.
Hey.
Dani Darling is born and
Thank
raised in
you.
Ann Arbor. We're so happy to have you here. She has 2 EPs out. Y'all have to go listen to them. They are on Spotify and Apple Music. Mage, did I say that right, Dani? I said
You
that right?
did. You did.
Okay, and the other one is Nocture.
Yes, Mage.
Yes, and Nocturne, which is one of my favorites because it has Sentimental on there. And another favorite of mine is Glow. Glow is very,
Yes.
very dope. So
Thank you.
very happy that you decided to come on and be a guest for me and Tay on our podcast.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Hey, how you doing today, girl?
I'm good. You know, just living the dream here. It's Penny. So just chilling.
How you holding up during this Panasonic?
I think honestly, I'm one of the lucky people who like, you know, I haven't had too many hardships. I haven't had any close family or anything get, you know, the COVID, and, you know, we all been kind of like under wraps. Like, I think the hardest thing is that since we've been kind of separated, I just miss my family a lot because I'm from a big family. But other than that, you know, me and Edie Pop, we chilling. It's my daughter.
I
So,
feel that. I feel that.
yeah.
And Tay, how you feeling today, man?
I'm chilling as always.
As
I don't be doing
always.
shit. I mean, I work, but I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
I don't be doing shit. But you know,
I understand. And finally, I work also, so I can say that now.
Congrats
nigga
to
got a
you.
job.
Finally.
Scared to get back out there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Great times, great times. But so Dani's coming on and she's gonna really get into us and check us on our whole birth charts. I've never had this done before. Tay, have you had this done before?
I think like randomly on the live episode that we did, Dani just decided to read my entire life to the entire world. So I am excited to hear it again because
Yeah.
I selectively did not remember what she said because it was like too powerful and I couldn't deal with it right then and there. So I'm in the space and mind to listen today.
You ready? You ready?
She was reading you,
I
bro.
don't think
I'm gonna
so.
keep it real with
She
you.
like straight up and down. I was like, damn. All right,
Yeah.
can we stop this question for real?
So, so I actually want to hear about Tay's first because I'm very interested to hear about her whole makeup. So please read her for filth.
Why?
Cause man, it's just gonna be the most interesting. I can just imagine. All right.
I feel
Okay,
like then I
so
feel like I should save me for last then.
Save me?
Save me for last.
Okay.
well,
It's up to
I'll
Dani.
go into both of you because then we'll talk about your similarities too, which will be kind of both of you together.
Okay.
So when it comes to a chart, like the first thing I look at is a person's sun, moon, and rising to understand who they are as a person. And I call those like the kind of ingredients of your own individual cocktail. So like for Tay, you are a Cancer. And so that is going to be like your basic foundation of your personality. Cancer is a water sign, it's receptive, it's ruled by the moon. So what you're going to find is that because the moon moves through a different sign every 2.5 days, you're going to feel a lot more motion and a lot more of a pull in your moods and how you feel based on what's happening with the moon, where it is, and whether it's having like stress from other planets and things. So with Cancer, you're always going to be a little bit more receptive to other people and a little bit more empathetic. So you have to kind of watch that actually, because you don't want other people to affect you to the point where you're more reactive, especially because your moon sign, which I like to call your mixer. So if we have a cocktail called Tay, let's say
good.
that Cancer is, let's say vodka. And
What?
Oh,
we want a
vodka.
different one.
Yeah,
I don't drink light, man.
it
But
has to be
okay,
like whiskey
I'll
or
play along.
Okay, let's do whiskey then. So let's say
Thank
whiskey
you.
is vodka. You're
All
welcome.
right.
So say I'm also a Cancer. So we making drinks. We both got whiskey as our foundation. So Cancer is going to be the foundation of the drink. Your mixer is what I call your moon sign is what I call your mixer. So that's going to shift how you present and how the flavor, the color, the feel of the drink. So let's say we got a whiskey sour. That's going to be different than a ginger whiskey. So moon signs make quite a bit of a difference in how it's going to manifest. Now your mixer is Leo, which is interesting because Cancer is kind of like the feminine, maternal, emotive sign, and it's receptive, versus Leo, which is right after it, which is ruled by the sun in contrast. And it's like the father principle. You're more expressive, and you're more to the point where people are reacting from you. But the thing is, your Cancer loves to be in a moon sign slot, and Leo loves to be in a sun sign slot. Yours are mismatched. So what you can get sometimes is a feeling of like, I feel like fire and air moons. Jay, you're an air moon, so both of you in some ways, because your moon sign is ruled by an energy that's more of a masculine energy. You have a tendency that can feel a little bit more boxed in. Like sometimes you can feel like you can't like break out, or you have something that you can't really reach when you're trying to reach it right away. So with Leo and Cancer together, what you're going to get is someone who is very expressive, likes that attention, likes for someone to really see them for who they are. But you're not necessarily going to come out as like outgoing as you want to be.
Yes.
So like you have that desire, but there's something that kind of holds you back because Leo's in that tight little spot, and Cancer is kind of like more soft.
I want to stop. I want to stop. I want to stop. I want to stop.
Too much right now. It's too much.
We didn't get to your rising yet.
Oh
So,
my God.
your rising sign I call your glass and garnish. So if we got, this mixture of Tay, which is Cancer with the Leo, and you got them mixed together, then you got your glass and garnish, which is how you present to people. It's how both of them are going to come out. It's how people see you, and it's how you grow into your personality as you get older as well. And your rising sign is Capricorn. So what's interesting to me about Capricorn is that Capricorn is the opposite sign of Cancer. So your rising sign is opposite or sister sign to your sun sign. So that means that the axis of Cancer and Capricorn is really important for you, because Cancer is the sign of home and nurturing, versus Capricorn, which is the sign of security in a different way. Security in like how you are in the world, like your place and your status. And also Capricorn is going to probably try and deal with that conflict that you have with the Cancer Leo, with dry humor, sometimes self-deprecation, sometimes like a very, I don't know, like a witty but very dry personality. And sometimes that can almost like be a defense mechanism when people get too close, or you don't feel as comfy as you want to be when you want to come out of yourself. So Capricorn is something you're going to grow into more as you get older too. You'll get more disciplined, you'll get more driven as you go along. And so that is the whole trifecta of Tay versus Jay, who is, let's see,
oh God,
your chart real quick.
Yeah, let me pull mine up.
So
that shit is deep, man.
Yeah. Now, Jay, your chart is kind of baffling because your big three are all air signs.
Yeah.
And they're all of the three different air signs. So you've got like this intense air quality to you. But the way they interact with each other are a little bit different. I'll explain. So because Gemini is your liquor or your base, that's going to be your main way that you relate to the world. Is you're easy to talk to, you're friendly, people like you. The thing is that your moon sign is Libra, which is also an air sign, but Libra is going to be a little bit more aesthetic. So you're going to get a little bit more concerned with how you present, like your look, and the way you like I'm a Gemini, but I'm a Virgo moon, so like I'm really not about fashion and stuff at all. You seem like you would probably be more into that because of the Leo moon. That seems like more of an aesthetic type thing where like you put together your whole look and persona. Libras are the type to kind of decide who they want to be and kind of shape their personality on what they hope to be or what they envision for themselves. Also, your rising sign is Aquarius. So Aquarius is what I call, it's funny because my EP is called Mage, but Aquarius is the ultimate magi. Like they are like the Merlin of the zodiac. They're kind of a visionary. They see things that people don't see, like bigger picture. But with all of those air signs, what you're going to get in some ways is, because you don't have any earth, fire, or water going on there, is sometimes needing energy from other people to help you get where you need to go. And then also, I could see like with your moon sign being Libra, sometimes you kind of have to really dig deep to figure out what you're thinking or feeling. So, and then the thing is, like, because of the other air, like Gemini, you're going to want to like kind of not let people know that's what you're doing, even though that's what you're doing in your mind. Is like in an argument or something, you might be trying to like talk through your feelings, but kind of like trying to play catch up on feelings if somebody's showing theirs, and you're kind of trying to react versus reach in and see what it is you're feeling, especially if you happen to be the type of person who worries more about how other people think and feel, which is often the case with Aquarius and Gemini, especially Libra, who's a peacemaker. You may spend a lot of time worrying about how other people are thinking and feeling. And then when they're like, but what about you? Then it's like a blank. It's like, what am I thinking?
Taylor, you have something to say? You have something to say?
So it's like, even if you...
She's reading you. She's just reading you. She's reading you.
All right.
And I'm just,
but it's not like you don't want to share.
Right.
It's just that sometimes you don't know what you're feeling. Sometimes you really just can't put it into words, is what I get. Even though you got this Mercury in Gemini, so that's what I'm getting to next, is your inner planets. So your inner planets kind of talk about your different like styles of communication with Mercury, the way you love, like deeply, family love, long-term, that's Venus. And then how you are when you go after something you want, or even like sexually, and the way you kind of react to things viscerally, and how you are when you get backed into a corner. That's your Mars. And that's why lately I'm a lot more interested usually in people's Mars than Venus, because people are always like, oh, where's your Venus? Where's your Venus? But Venus is actually a lot more about like aesthetic. Like I was saying with Libra is ruled by Venus. It's a lot more about your look, about things that you like, as far as like around you, colors, things like that, versus like a real love. So when it goes to your inner planets, let's see, for Tay, your inner planets.
Try not to read me too much next time.
She's doing a great job. She's doing a great job.
I want to say, actually.
Now you know how it feels.
Okay, so what I noticed about both of you actually is that you've both got like kind of a stack a little bit. And it's almost like I can tell you guys are born like a month apart, because
what do you mean by that?
Like if you look at your chart here, if we look at Tay's chart, you see where if you look for Cancer over by where 6 and 7 is on the right side of the circle, you see that pile up of planets over there?
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at mine, and
you're looking at yours. Okay.
Yeah, so
yours is the same way, but you have a pile up of planets, but yours are a little bit further down, at the bottom by Cancer and Leo. Yeah. So both of you guys have like that same pile up, but if you imagine hers is just a little bit further, like a month away, they're all still clustered together like that. Yeah. And the way that works is that, Tay, your planets are kind of grouped up in Leo, and Jay, your planets are grouped up in Cancer. So when it comes to, and the thing to recall is that even though your sun is in Cancer and your sun is in Gemini, your inner planets are going to really help you see how you relate to people. So when it comes to Tay, your communicating style is Gemini. Your Mercury is in Gemini, which means you are very conversational.
Yeah. That's facts though.
Very conversational, very smooth with it. You still have that Capricorn vibe to it, but you're going to be good thinking on your feet a lot of times when it comes to communicating.
Can I say something real quick, Dani?
When it comes to, Sure.
We've always known Tay was a smooth person. I'm just happy you're reiterating that because Tay tries to
She
act
didn't say
like
smooth person. She
he's
said smooth
not
talker.
smooth.
That's
You're a
different.
smooth talker. You're a smooth human being. I'm just going off of what Dani is saying.
That just means I can talk my way in and out of things. That's all that means. That doesn't mean like
Facts. I believe that.
Anyway.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check this. Your Mercury is also a Gemini. Both
Now
y'all got
what?
Mercury in
Now
Gemini.
what? Now what? Now what? Now what?
Okay. All
The
right.
only difference is, I would say, because Tay is a water sign, and because you have that Cancer, you're a little bit more intuitive when it comes to the way you communicate too, by kind of feeling
100%.
how what other people want to hear from you.
100.
So that's a cool thing about both of you, though, and that's like, as we get into talking about the similarities between you. One of them is your communication style is very similar. You're both Gemini, Mercury. Then let's go back to Tay's chart. Your Venus and your Mars, and this is a similar trend with both of you. Your Venus and your Mars are in the same signs. So that means the way you love and the way you go after things are going to be very close together. That is a more cohesive, loving style, and the way that you go after someone or something that you want. So for you, Tay, yours is in Leo, which is in the 7th house of committed partnerships. So that's your house of like love and your like significant other. So that means for
What the hell
Leo,
does that mean, Dani?
okay, so basically Leo is the sign of the heart. It's the heart of gold. Your moon sign is Leo too, so you're going to get a lot of that Leo energy. But Leos have a tendency to take a long time to fall in love, and when they do, they fall really, really hard. And so another thing about Leo is sometimes they have a tendency to, you know how lions kind of stalk their prey?
I'm sorry,
And
what?
they kind of like lions.
I heard
They
that
kind of
part.
stalk their prey. And like how, you ever see Lion King where Scar's like playing with the mouse? And then he lets it run and then he slaps it down. Like that's sometimes how Leos can be in love. So when it comes to your relationship style, you can be a little difficult at first, depending on like until you figure out that person is your person. But once you are, Leos are significantly like very loyal. Usually the Leo Venus, Leo Mars is going to be very expressive once you are in that loving, committed relationship. And the odds are that the few people that you do end up in deep relationships with are going to be long-term twin flames or soulmate type relationships. There is what I
That
see from
explains a lot.
from yours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Then we look at Jay. Is that resonating or not?
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about it.
Hey, is that resonating, bro?
Huh?
Is it resonating or not?
It's sitting there.
It's sitting.
It's sitting there.
Resonating a little bit.
Okay, now Jay, yours is a little tricky because your Venus and Cancer are in the same signs too, which means your style is cohesive, but they're in Cancer, which means that you really have a very kind of like soft inner self when it comes to relationships and love. Like Cancer is very sensitive. It's the same, like Tay's got that energy, but it's in a different place than yours. And that's probably why you relate to each other, actually, because certain things that she shows more on the outer level is something you feel more on the inner level, especially when it comes to love. So when it comes to your chart, it's Cancer and Venus and Cancer and Mars. They're actually really happy in those two spots, but it may be hard for you to express that because of all of the air on the outside. That's the hard thing that I see there. Is like you've got this watery, emotive self, but sometimes it's hard for you to even figure out how to deal with that. It's like kind of hard to figure out how you express that or show that. And sometimes it could be too late, or sometimes it can cause fear or anxiety and acting on what you feel.
Yeah.
And then in hindsight, you can see that you wanted to do this or that you should have done that, and then kind of there's a paralyzing of action there sometimes.
That's what I was
Like,
gonna ask. Are you meaning it in a way where I might be feeling something, but I'm not willing to verbalize it versus actually
yeah.
acting on it?
Or you may not even realize you feel that way till later. So that could be a hard thing too. But as far as that goes, it does. I do see that you have these planets. They're together and they're in your fifth and sixth house. So that means that you will eventually find that person, but it looks like yours may take a little bit more. I don't know. It may be a little bit more turmoil there a little bit because you have to figure out how to come outside of yourself and be softer on the outside.
Be softer on the outside.
Softer.
Softer
Yeah,
on.
be more like me.
Show
Be
that.
more like me.
No.
No, she did.
Be
Softer
be
on
more
the
like me.
outside. Uh,
Yeah.
wow.
Or just at least to the person or to your person or people. I don't know, polyamory, there's that too.
Right.
But also I see your moon phases. So this is a new thing I've been learning as I've been reading charts is you look at where the moon is when people were born with like the phase of the moon. So you've got Tay who was born on a new moon, which means like, I don't know if you know that like when it comes to like rituals and things like that, new moon is like where you manifest things.
Yeah.
Full moon is where you release things. So like if you're born on a new moon, you're like a walking manifestation. That's like really lucky energy is to have like a new moon birth. So that means that
Wow.
you can literally write things out, say things out, and
Wow.
things like my mom is a new moon. And she always said like she used to drive past the neighborhood we grew up in and say, I'd like to live in the house in that neighborhood. And then eventually, years later we moved there. So like things like that, new moon stuff is, you're putting it out there verbally, intentionally, and you have a lot more power there. Whereas most of us have to wait till the new moon and like try and light some sage and like
Right.
get the energies
Yeah,
right.
that's me. Lighting the sage, bringing the crystals out.
Right, like, come on,
Please,
Ocean.
come on.
But you have another lucky thing in your chart too, Jay. You've got what's called a great conjunction between your sun and Jupiter. So astrologers call the conjunction between the sun and Jupiter, it happens once a year usually, and it's called the Gold Star Day. And it's supposed to be like the luckiest day of the year, like a blessing. And so this year, actually, it's on Thursday, which is a full moon in Leo and Aquarius, which you should pay careful attention to because you're an Aquarius rising. And you're a Leo moon, Tay. So both of you, this is a really big Thursday for you coming up.
This Thursday?
This Thursday, day after
wow.
Wednesday, is supposed to be, it's coming up quick this year. But the day you were born, it was also that too. So that's also really good energy for your life because you had that gold star day on the day you were born that year. It was 1989. That year it was on your birthday. So that's,
wow.
It's not quite the same as new moon, but it's like a special blessing on your life, which is pretty cool. And yours is in Gemini. So it will definitely be something to do with communication. Your life path is to do with traveling, philosophy, communication, meeting new people. And I would say, Tay, the reason I look at this is because you're midheaven. So your midheaven gives clues into your career and your life path. So the thing I started learning with doing charts is you can't just look at a person's like inner planets and, oh, well, you're like this, this is how you relate to the world. That's helpful and all, but nothing that I'm saying is really things that people don't know if they really know themselves. What's helpful is like your life path, where you're going in your life, things that you should be looking out for. So what I started looking at in charts is people's midheavens, which is your life path, your career, your Chiron, which is how you heal your soul from like, I don't know if you guys believe in past lives or future lives, but your Chiron is how you heal in this lifetime to progress to the next one, and like things that karma that you may bring from your past lifetime. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit, your midheaven and your Chiron, especially because you guys have the same Chiron. It's both in Cancer. So both of you, your life path will be finding healing for something or the other, depending on where it is. like I said, since you're right next to each other, you both will deal with healing in your life. But for Tay, it will be about like in your work life. Um, Maybe that will be a calling of yours. I don't know what your fields are, what you guys do.
You want to
Is
say
there
that?
like,
I'm in education.
okay, that makes sense to me. So if you're dealing with youth, that Chiron is also the teacher. It's he's the person who kind of passes down almost in Greek mythology medical knowledge, but that could be spiritual too. So it's passing on like healing to others and knowledge through that way. So that makes sense as your life path. It seems like you're already on that path. For you, Jay, yours is in your fifth house of like self creativity and things like that. So your path may not be quite as finite as like teaching others or
Yeah.
passing on that healing, but it may be with like people that you meet or a business that is like more about who you are or your impact on the world or your experiences and how they shape you and what you come up with based on that. Yours is a lot more centered around who you are and your experiences. So that's really cool about the both of you is that you still have like that healing aspect because you have the Cancer path
Yeah.
for both of you. So trading between the two of you, I would say almost the way that you guys even collaborate on the podcast is you're seeing how it kind of like collaborates and like moves together. And I think that's pretty cool about the two of you together. Also, have you guys ever heard of your Saturn return?
Never.
No? Okay, so your Saturn return is supposed to be towards your late 20s, and it's the hardest part of the hardest period of your life. And it's when Saturn goes through the planet that it was in when you were born. And it takes about 28, 29 years for that to happen. And then it takes about 2 or 3 years for it to complete. And then once you're done, you're like into adulthood for real. But it's usually like the hard knocks where life's just like
Yeah. Well,
knocking you around. And so both of you, it's interesting, neither of you knew this, but
nah.
you've been going through your Saturn return the last couple years. So if you've
Feels
Oh, it
like
had
felt like I
like,
was going through something. Yeah, I've been
yeah.
going
yeah,
through
if you've
something. I
had
didn't know what to
like,
call
yeah,
it.
It definitely felt like
your
it.
Saturn return, if you
I
had
felt
like
it some hard ass shit.
upheaval, breakups, life decisions,
All
like
of that.
things kind of fall apart where like
All
it,
of
it
that.
feels like everything's happening all at once. That's usually a Saturn return. And it's happening because it's shaping you into your real adulthood, is what they
Mm.
call it. And you won't have another Saturn return until you're like 50s or 60s, and that'll be going into your elder years. But it just ended. Congrats, you made it.
It doesn't feel like
And so you
it.
Oh,
did.
it feels like it for
Um,
me. I feel like I
Doesn't
made it
feel
out
like
the
it.
trenches.
yeah, you're just coming out of it. But it's now that Saturn has moved into Aquarius, it's two things. It's the age of Aquarius and your Saturn
Yeah.
return is over for both of you ladies. So this is actually a really good year. I would say specifically for Jay, this year is going to be really big for you. With your rising in Aquarius,
That's
your North Node is also in Aquarius, and that's your life, another life path. And that's kind of like where what your whole life journey will be, is finding out how to bring people together
hmm.
and how to like almost like a I don't know how you say it, like Aquarius is about community. So it's kind of like that person who like brings everyone in and kind of like just brings them together on one, like, I don't know, even like activism. I see activism or like bringing up like issues for a certain community.
Yeah.
That's going to be something that's your life path. Um, and so, especially because this is the age of Aquarius, you may not feel like, your Saturn return is over, but
Yeah.
it's a lot that you're going to be called to do, especially this year, I think.
And how
Because
often does the age of Aquarius come about? Because this is all new to me.
this will be the rest of our lives. Age
Oh,
of Aquarius, yeah. Because the
okay.
age of Pisces was ushered in at the birth of Christ.
Oh,
So it's been in Pisces all this time from then till now. And
wow.
now we're moving into the age of Aquarius. So you'll see people moving farther away from organized religion. You'll see people moving more into a more open, um, like loving spiritual world versus like the kind of dogma that we've been locked in all these last couple 100 years.
I have a question about that though, since we're talking about like our star signs and astrology. For you, how do you like, are you a spiritual person, and how does that like connect to you?
I was raised very religious. Like my mom's a minister. My stepdad, they have a ministry. I grew up singing in the church and stuff.
Okay.
And then it was a source of a lot of childhood anxiety for me. And that was rooted in like the teachings at my church about like homosexuality and things like that. So like as a child, like I'd be sitting in church and they'd be telling us that like if you like girls, then that's a demon. And I'm like, oh Lord, I must be possessed. So like I used to be scared to go to bed. I used to just be trying to pray it away. So like by the time I got to college, I realized that that was going to continue to haunt me unless I kind of moved away from that whole idea of religion, because it was such a source of pain and anxiety as a child. So after I kind of gave up the ghost with Christianity, I felt a big like emptiness. So I started researching from Buddhism to Baha'i, all kind of stuff. But there were problems with all of them. I will say, like, I think when I finally landed on astrology, it was kind of fun because I read up on Gemini and I was like, oh yeah, I am like that. I get myself in trouble talking too much. And then I was like reading about my friend, and then I kept reading about other friends. And then, years later, still reading about it. So that's kind of how that happened. And as I went along, things started kind of coming to me, like ideas and things that I'm like, yeah, that makes sense to me as far as like what I believe, or like, afterlife, all that just came later.
Speaking about the afterlife, how was your thoughts on the afterlife changed since you've kind of moved from not being so closely connected to a organized religion?
Hold on, let me see here.
No
You
problem.
said, what are my thoughts on the afterlife?
Yeah, because I know you said you kind of had to distance yourself from organized religions. So I wonder, how did your idea of the afterlife change? Because obviously in Christianity, especially, which I'm sure we were all connected to strongly at some point in time. Maybe Tay, not so much. I know you told me about kind of how your family situation was, but how was your situation when it came to your concept and your thinking of the afterlife?
I actually just watched this documentary on Netflix called Surviving Death. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was. I didn't watch the middle ones because I'm not that interested in mediums. But the first episode and the last episode really kind of like, I was like, yeah, like I do think there is an afterlife. I do think like there is ancestors looking out from us. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, just making sure.
I can see that. I think that we go to a better place. I think that our ancestors are there. And I think that it's not as specific as we think it is with religion that we've come up with. I think those are things to help people live a better life on earth. But I think that, yeah, I think that we live on. I kind of feel like I feel like God is time, and we become part of the fabric of it when we, die. And I think we come back and then we go back. I think there's all kinds of different ways that we connect, but I think we're all a part of God. And I think God is time. And I think once time is no more, then we will be. But I think that'll be so far in the distance. It's not really something I dwell on. If it's like a billions of millennia away, I'm probably going to be tired by then.
We all gonna be tired by then. All of us. I had a question. You remember you commented on me and Taylor's picture, and you said something about like soul. What did you say? You said some type of like soulmate, or like,
you guys are soulmates, and that's what I'm talking about with your Cancer and Chiron, is that you guys have the same journey of healing. And so the fact that you guys met and kind of like linked up, and like so much of your chart is not even like quite similar, but like parallel, the way you have your inner planets together in Cancer and you have yours together in Leo. It's kind of like you guys have kind of paired up to go through these things, even though neither of you even realized you're going through a Saturn return together, but you had each other through it, you know? And so I think that's what kind of like signaled to me that connection between the two of you is your chirons being the same, and then all of your inner planets kind of being so kind of like similar, but just like moved like a month apart in the chart. So I thought that was really cool. Like your life paths are going in a similar direction. So it seems like you guys just really understand each other on a deep level.
That sounds pretty accurate, huh, Tay?
I'm just listening at this point because this shit is
What do you think?
insane to me.
What do you think?
No, it's so crazy though because you don't like obviously like when we navigate through life, we're not thinking about. At least I'll speak for myself. I'm not thinking about all these multitudes of things, but then it starts making sense when it's broken down like this. Like shit, like no, that is my life, or that does make sense, or damn, I am like that. Like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So like
yeah.
it's another way for me to reflect and for me to understand myself when
Okay.
shit does happen. It's like, oh, that's just my Leo. Like it's cool. That's cool. That's
That's
the
just
Leo
something.
in me. Excuse the Leo in me.
Right.
Excuse it.
Um,
Yeah, that's all. Like
And
I'm soaking it all in because it's mind blowing. I guess it's fascinating. That's the word. It's
do you
fascinating.
guys want your clues on your significant other?
oh,
What you can do that?
whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
go. And Danny, before you like when you finish telling us something, leave a little second for Tay maybe to ask like a question or give some type of commentary because I'm sure she has something to say about the way you've been.
okay.
I'm just
Um,
here. Like,
so when astrologers look to see like who could be like your significant other, we look at the opposite of your rising sign. So if you look at your rising sign and you look across the chart, you'll find your DC, what we call it, your committed relationships. And that's usually in your 7th house of partnership. So Jay, yours is your Aquarius rising. So you should look for someone. Now, I would be hard pressed to guess that it would be someone who's an air sign with all that air. It would seem such a waste if you didn't end up with an air sign because they're hard to understand anyway. So like, I don't know, but there's an implication of some kind of Leo placement, Leo rising, Leo sun, something there. So some kind of Leo energy. If they have that somewhere in their rising
Leo.
or sun sign, that could be a clue for you. Is that energy? And then Tay, you're a Capricorn rising, so you may end up with another Cancer.
oh my god, I
Cancer.
don't need that in my life.
Another
man.
Cancer. Two of them in one relationship.
I've already dated a Cancer. It was not fun.
Who was that?
Well, what? Maybe they weren't the right one. Who knows?
Probably. I was a teenager. It probably don't count.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of maturity that changes things. Like I was a hotmess.com when I was younger. I was a Gemini wreck. So, I mean, it just age can make a difference. Make a big difference.
Yeah. And do you believe this whole thing about like Gemini sun signs having to be mature in order to be more understood? Because I hear things about like, oh, that's an immature Gemini. So
Yeah, I mean, we can vibrate real low. If we are on our immature level, yeah. But I think that's anybody. Cancers are known for being emotionally manipulative. So if they're
oh,
immature, they may,
Time out,
you
time out,
know,
time out,
oh,
time out. You
oh,
said
oh,
manipulate. Like
oh
what?
shit.
We're
Uh-oh.
not the manipulators. What?
yeah, they're known for being the manipulators. Because like the thing is, like Scorpio can sometimes seem like the manipulator, but Cancer is really the secret manipulator of all the water signs because they can read you real good and make you feel bad.
Oh
Real good.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I
guilt
can
trip.
that
Okay.
yeah, that's okay. Now I understand. Now I understand.
Yeah, the guilt trips that Cancer can bring will have somebody, you know, really trying to reevaluate their whole life. And
The
sometimes
whole
it's
life.
yeah,
The
sometimes it's
whole
legit.
life.
The whole life.
Yeah. I've done
So
that
that
multiple
can be, I
times.
think like any sign can vibrate low. But we get a bad rap for sure. But it's just, you
Honestly, can
know,
we talk about that? Because I feel like everybody hates us for no reason.
they do. It's just
No
because they
reason.
can see us, though. That's all. That's
I
all.
don't hate y'all.
So what are some negative traits for signs like ours? Because you talked about Taylor's, being
No,
sometimes
she talked about cancers, not
you're
Taylor.
you're you're a Cancer though.
Cancer. Because Taylor, we've just gone through all the complexities of Taylor and Jay. You guys are much more than just a Gemini or a Cancer.
You know,
Worst signs, I'd say for Gemini, they say our worst sign is Capricorn.
that's crazy.
I've had bad experiences, and I thought for a while that I was going to overcome that because I have a Virgo moon. So I'm like, I got an Earth moon, I could do this, but I always ended up in tears. So I could see that. But at the same time, my best friend, college roommate, is a Capricorn, and I love her to death. So I don't know. Maybe it's just where I couldn't see myself dating her, though.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think that's hard energy with each other because of the way they both connect with people and their life paths. For Cancer, I would say probably the worst would be something like a Sag. Although you've got a lot of fire in your chart, but I would shy away from a Sag, or even an Aries might really annoy the fuck out of you if you're Cancer and you're dealing with an Aries. So I don't know. That
I've
might
never
be
dated a Sag. No, that makes sense. I never dated a Sag or
an Aries.
Actually, nope. It makes sense now.
Oh, it does.
Mm-hmm.
It does. Okay, you're not gonna say it out loud.
Really
I'm not gonna say it out loud.
Okay, you're not gonna say it out loud.
Let's see. What's another bad one for Gemini is maybe like I don't know. They say Pisces is weird with us too.
Never dated a Pisces.
Me either.
Never.
My sister's married to one though, so I mean that's the thing. You can't really base it off sun signs. Like there's so much to people's charts that you really have to look at different things. I'd say also moon sign, it really tells how you're going to connect with people on your inner self. So in that respect, Tay, you're a Leo moon, you may like an Aries, so it really depends. I'd say give anybody a chance, because I think astrology is supposed to help people bridge those differences between them, not say, I can't with no cap, so right. I think it's supposed to help you, overcome differences and understand each other versus say, let's not do that, because we all have so much energy in our charts and our parents, it's nurture and nature,
Oh my God, my parents, Aquarius and Libra. Is August 23rd? Or is it 25th?
That's on the cusp. August 23rd on the cusp of Virgo.
Okay, so my dad is a Virgo Libra cusp, and then my mom is an Aquarius.
Wow, so both of your parents are that air energy.
Oh,
that's interesting.
I guess yeah.
Dang, you got all that energy too?
Yeah, it's a lot. But me and my dad, we are so different. We are so different. It's kind of insane. I don't know if that's the Virgo or is that.
I think he's a Virgo, probably not a Libra.
Don't say that. My dad's a Virgo.
I love your dad.
My dad's a Virgo. My mom's is a Libra.
So Virgo, but you're Capricorn rising, so you're gonna get along great with a Virgo, probably.
Ooh,
that's the thing. Tay, yeah.
I would.
Oh, I love Virgos, man.
I mean, yeah, I love them, but they're very confusing to me.
Not for you. She's talking about me. Like,
said Jay or Tay.
Wait, who got a Virgo dad?
I have a Virgo dad.
We both do.
We both have Virgo dads.
We do.
Yeah, my mom's a Libra.
And an air sign mom.
True.
So mom's going to be probably a little bit more distant and objective. Dad's going to be a little bit more nurturing, if not like a little bit too think too much about stuff.
Nah.
No.
That is so funny. Those are my parents.
Nah.
That right there.
My mom's the one that's very nurturing and close and just like affectionate. My dad, I don't know. It's like he's speaking French and I'm speaking German.
Portuguese.
Yes.
I think I think your mom may have a lot of water in her chart. We got to look at your mom's whole chart now.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
look at it. We'll do that next time.
Let's do it. Let's do that. Switching gears a little bit, I'm very interested to know how you got into music the way you did.
Oh, I've been singing since I was a kid. Like I said, I'm a triplet. My grandma used to take us to these old folks' homes and have us singing "Jesus Loves Me" on these chairs. She'd have us standing on these chairs because we were so little, people couldn't see us. So we'd go to senior citizens' houses and she'd sit us up and have us singing. And then, in church, we were always singing. And so it was always a trio type situation. I have an older sister who's like beautiful. She's a great singer. We used to sing backup for her, actually. So we were always kind of the trio, and she was always kind of like I don't know, maybe like the Tony Braxton to us being like the Braxton sisters.
Oh,
But she got saved and sanctified, decided she didn't want to pursue a music career anymore. And so we went on X Factor the first season, and we made it to the televised rounds, and that shit happened. And then we didn't make it past the first televised show. And, in hindsight, we should have just been like, whatever, let's keep going. At least we made it that far because it took like three rounds to get there. And so the thing is, we let it just knock us down so tough. Like, we were so hurt, but it's like, there can only be one winner.
yeah.
So after that, it took like we stopped doing music. Like, I stopped doing music for like a whole year and a half over that shit. And it was just really unfortunate. But then after a year, I was like, start picking up my guitar again. And I started like hitting up my sisters, like, girls, do you want to do this? Let's try it again. And they were like, nah. They were both doing different things. Nikki's a flight attendant. Jackie is a music therapist. So she took the music in a different route. And so that's when I decided to go solo. So Dani Darling happened after that. I decided to go solo and just do my thing with my guitar. And then I got a band, and we've been rocking ever since, basically.
And how have you all been doing, like, with the whole Panasonic that we're in right now? I know you all probably can't do concerts.
We've done some live stuff like over the summer. Like, I'm fortunate because like we were on this big rise. Like, I had that feature in the Metro Times artist to watch at the beginning of 2020, right before the pandemic. So even though I had like everything got canceled, even for like the little stuff like Top of the Park Ann Arbor Summer Festival, they approached me and did a whole big show for me where they did like a not too close distant concert. So like people have been really great about if they book me, making sure like it's socially distanced. And that was in the summertime. So I wasn't doing any shows indoors, so just outdoors. So now it's a little different because it's wintertime. We can't do no outdoor shows.
No.
But I happened to win this fellowship through this the Amplify Fellowship in Washtenaw County. And they're paying for me and supporting me through my next project, which is amazing because like, okay, Mage and Nocturne, those are definitely bedroom pop projects. Like, that's what I was able to do in my limited ability in my room late at night. And so this is kind of like, you guys will definitely hear what I can do if I have like all of the resources and producers and mixing and mastering, like all that. And so I'm just really excited for this next project because it's going to be like out there.
Okay.
So we already started recording and things. So I'm excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's super fucking dope. That's dope.
Taylor actually makes beats. I don't know if she wants you to know
You
that.
do?
And she's good. Let me just tell you that. Go ahead, Tay.
What kind of beat?
Go ahead and do what? What do you mean go ahead? What you
Show
want me to
her,
do?
you are very talented. Let her know.
You just told her. What you want me to repeat what
That's
you
not
just
enough.
said?
You need to market yourself, bro. I'm trying to
I could see that with this Leo. I see
shit,
that
here
in
she
your
go.
chart.
She's really
Here
good
she
at it, too.
go.
She's really
That's that
good.
manifestation shit.
Yeah, all that.
With the
All
Leo
that.
creativity.
All that.
Yeah, send me some stuff. Do you like lo-fi?
So, like, I feel like I'm on the spot right now, but yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I'll send you some stuff. I think I still have your email. I'll
Yeah.
send you some stuff.
Send her some
Yeah.
stuff.
Send it to me.
Yeah.
You
Or
are
like,
so
do you ever,
annoying.
what kind of projects do you use? Do you use Ableton or what is it, Logic? GarageBand.
I use GarageBand. I have a MK Mini right now. I just got for Christmas that I've been working with.
Oh,
So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've always been in music, but then like once the pandemic hit, it was like I'm not doing shit else. So I just kind of jumped back into it. So
cool. You ever thought of
that's
DJ?
my story. I used to DJ in high school.
Yes.
I was gonna
Yes.
say, I maybe could
I
use a
used
DJ at
to
some point.
Right there.
hit me up.
They
I
gonna
used to
get
DJ in high school and college. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
That is
That would be cool.
hilarious.
I'm gonna pass
I'm
out
trying to
flyers.
I'm trying to do
You
a European tour this summer and I might not be able to take my whole band. So I'm trying to think of different ideas, like, what to do if I can't take the whole setup and everybody. It might be easier to just like either figure out how to DJ, like I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure it out, but we
There
gonna
you go,
fix
right
it.
there.
We gonna figure it out.
keep me in your back pocket. Just
Right
keep me in
there.
your back
I
pocket.
will do
Right
that.
there. Yeah. And who are some of your inspirations for making the type of music you do? Because it's very distinct.
There's a lot of Radiohead. I love them.
Oh.
Sade, of course, is my
Ooh.
favorite. Let's see, who else? I really like Frank Ocean.
Mm.
I like his style, how he writes things, like with like spoken word and like the way things like he'll change up the whole song and like have crazy transitions and like kind of glitchy sounds. I think he's really been an inspiration for me. Solange, I like her. I like the stripped down sound sometimes. So a lot of different influences. Yeah, I would say those few are like my biggest kind of stand out to me the most. But then I really like lo-fi. Like I like Billie Eilish. I like that whole style, the way she sings, and the way she approaches music is just from a very interesting place. I like old like movie musicals like Ella Fitzgerald and like Frank Sinatra and that shit. So I
Wow.
think you'll hear that a little bit in my vocal, like how my vocal stylings are very kind of Nat King Cole in 2021 a little bit. So
I see it. I
yeah,
definitely see it.
yeah.
Well, man, you have really read us both. You really have. And
I don't want to do this again.
I
We
mean,
don't have
yeah,
to do this.
I don't want
You
to
want to
either.
do it again? I will be hitting you up every now and then to be like, hey, you good? Full moon in this. I do check on people. After I look at their charts, I'll still keep it. I'll still have it. So like different things will pop up and I'll be checking on folks like, you good?
Please do. Please do. Because if I'm feeling a certain way, I got like a migraine or something, I'm be like, oh, it's like a great conjunction of something happening. So
What?
Stars
I'm like,
are
let me text Danny real quick.
aligned.
What's going on?
Right.
Need to
Hit me
manage
up.
an Advil or something. You know? But no, thank you so much, Danny, for coming. I know it's really worked out in a kind of funny way, just because of the way we met in the first place. I was Lyft driving, so
Yeah.
for it to come full circle it's pretty dope. Pretty dope.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anytime. It was fun.
Yeah, we appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. A lot of
Yeah.
fun. And we'll definitely have you back on, so don't even worry about that.
Cool.
Just not to do this again.
No.
Not to read Tay.
No.
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 You can read Jay all you
No,
want.
no.
I don't need
Okay.
to.
Keep that. All right, Danny, we appreciate you. And we're going to have you back on the show again.
Thank you.
All right.
Girls.